All right, so I wanted to thank everybody for joining us. My name's Blenna. I work at the library. Some of you may have seen me around before. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us. I also wanted to thank our presenter. We have Tom Jaworski. Sorry, did I say that right?
Perfect. Thank you. Very
Jaworski.
good.
Perfect. Okay. All right, Tom, it's your turn.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Thanks for everybody for coming out tonight. I greatly appreciate that. Beautiful evening we have outside today, so I appreciate you coming out. Finally not in the 90 degrees, so you'll be able to sit and enjoy that. So thanks again for coming today. I appreciate it. Thanks to the library for having me today. I appreciate that. Real quick, I'll just, if people don't mind, I'll put my email address in the chat screen. If anybody would like a copy of this presentation, I'm going to click through a lot of different links. Feel free to email me and I'll send you the presentation, or if you want to email me or send a message through the chat, to the group chat, or just to myself, you can switch on the everybody to myself, I believe, down there somewhere. If you want to send me the email address, it's fine. Or if you even felt more comfortable, I'm sure you could contact one of the ladies at the library and they can get a hold of me too. And I could send my PowerPoint to them too as well. So I'm happy to do that. So thank you very much. So without further ado, I will go ahead and switch my screen, share my presentation. So again, I should mention also, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, definitely feel free to put it in chat. Okay, we got somebody here. Perfect, the lady's got it up there. All right. Yeah, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, maybe I went over something too fast, or as I'm sharing screens, I forgot to share the correct screen and you guys are wondering what I'm doing and I'm doing my own thing, feel free to message in the chat screen as well. I'll be happy to answer the question at that point. I will also be on here afterwards, as long as the ladies want, until they kick me out, and I'll be happy to answer any and all questions at that point too here. So great, thank you very much. So again, how to visit a college campus without leaving home. To be honest with you, this is one of the positive things that's coming out of this. And I think as far as college programming and college visits, this is something that probably I would like to think will stick around for a while, a hybrid of different ways to visit colleges. Right now, some colleges are starting to reopen for college visits. I just saw an email from St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia that they mentioned they're going to start opening August 1st on a limited basis. No information sessions though. You could just tour the campus. I think they had like 3 people allowed per group for your group, and 2 groups total could go on a tour at one point. You had to wear a face mask, so a lot of different hoops going through. So they're anticipating doing that. But who knows what lies for us by August 1st at this point here too. So I'll tell you some great ways you can visit colleges from home. And as I've been calling it, the ultimate college road trip you could take right now that I've been doing all summer as well. Again, I'm Tom Jaworski. I'm founder of Quest College Consulting. That's my own company. My background really quick, I used to be a high school history teacher. That's what I graduated college with. And then as I was teaching, I went back and earned a master's degree in school counseling. I worked a total of 12 years at a high school as a teacher and counselor. And then during my last year, I probably watched Shark Tank one too many times and thought I wanted to own my own business. And my wife probably watched it one too many times than me. And she said, that sounds like a great idea. Why don't you start your own business? And so I did, as an independent educational consultant, helping high school families find colleges, apply to those colleges, which is just get started, get rolling with steam right now. And of course, the financial aid and scholarship process as well. So today we'll talk about 5 ways to interact with colleges from home. We're going to talk about the information sessions that I had just mentioned, the official campus tours, and what I mean by official, where those are kind of posted on a college website or posted by colleges, additional virtual tours, which are, again, there are additional third-party websites that have virtual tours as well that are very interesting to watch, and ways you can learn more about different campuses that way. Other ways to connect, this is where the college programming is starting to explode virtually. And again, I anticipate that to be as well for the fall, when travel is still kind of limited probably, is again what's going to happen with high schools, right? We're starting to hear rumblings about what might be happening about openings. Right, in California, we just heard today that The California public school, or in Los Angeles, they're not going to open. They're going to start remotely. So who knows? So colleges may not be able to get to your students as well if the high schools are not open and with college fairs. So there's a lot of ways of virtually you can connect with them. And then things you can do after that visit as well, too, to connect with the colleges that I recommend as well. So really quick, I'm just going to go into the aspect of why you should visit a college. Besides the fact that to learn about the colleges and know more about that and see if that's a correct fit for you, is some colleges track what's called demonstrated interest. Now, again, this is a term that to be taken with a grain of salt. Not every college does this. There's a small but powerful majority of colleges that can do that. What I mean by powerful majority is that some of the highly selective colleges are doing this. We're not talking Ivy League, but I'll get to that, what kind of colleges we're talking about. But demonstrated interest means to exhibit to a college your interest, right? You kind of tell a college, hey, I'm interested in perhaps attending your school, and they kind of reach back out to you, and then you kind of start a conversation with them that way. And what this would mean during times of pre-pandemic would mean taking your time to visit a college campus. That's one of the best ways to show college that you'd be interested in them. So if you're not a rising senior right now, rising junior, sophomore, freshman, whatever, keep in mind for the future that some colleges you may want to interact with them a little bit more by taking the time to visit campus. Now, again, I just mentioned California. Getting an airplane and flying to California, perhaps with a parent or an entire family, is just not necessarily affordable. So colleges kind of understood where you lived, and so kind of within a car ride of school, a day's car ride. So, 4 to probably 6 hours, anything above 6 hours, they definitely would understand as well, too. But again, at this moment, we can't do that, right? To visit campuses, I'm sure you're not going to pick up a car and drive to Philadelphia, perhaps, to visit St. Joseph's, but we can do it virtually. And perhaps colleges will be kind of expecting you to do this virtually. I've been encouraging all my clients to do that, to interact with colleges, watch information sessions, so on and so forth. But back to demonstrated interest really quick. One reason you want to do this and interact with the colleges and let them know that you're interested in them is it could help your rating. What this rating is when you apply to a college, they actually have a kind of a virtual file folder, a certain website that they use, and everything goes in there. Any kind of thing you send them, your application, your essay, but also what goes in there is demonstrated interest ideas. And so if the college has tried to interact with you by sending you an email, have you opened the email? Every date they send it to you, have you opened them? They're tracking, have you clicked on the link? How long were you on the website for? Did they try to send you a text message, give you a phone call? Did you respond back to them, so on and so forth? So they're checking on you. Did you visit college campus? Did you visit us at a college fair? So they want to know, are you interested in them too? And the more you interact with the college without kind of going overboard, to be honest with you, is it kind of helps your rating. And it helps you from becoming what's called a stealth applicant, which means you apply to the college without them knowing about you. You've never interacted with them. You never met them at a college fair at your school, but your essay is pretty much saying, this is the college I want to attend to. I've always wanted to go to this college, and this is my dream school. But if they never heard from you, like, well, you're not in our virtual file folder. We haven't created a file folder, and they have a ton of file folders. Why would we believe you, to be honest with you? So, but again, the idea of your improving your rating is the higher your rating, the more likelihood that if they accept you, they feel that the percentages that you will accept their offer of admission, and then again, the likelihood that you would enroll. Right, it's analytics. Everything's going to analytics these days, and so colleges are as well too. They're kind of tracking to see if they think if we'd offer you admission, would you come to that school? And again, the idea of trying to improve their yield. Perhaps you can improve your financial aid package. This is just a theory that I have. That again, if they offer you a little bit more money, what's the offer? The idea is that you would want to go to that school. If your rating is lower, but you're still, and they don't offer you that much money, but they feel you're still willing to pay more money to go to school, kind of a win-win for them. They get more money to perhaps give out to somebody else too. So again, going back to kind of the analytics and how much money is being given out and how much money is bringing in. So keep that in mind. Some of the colleges, mostly liberal arts colleges, but on this list there are some kind of larger universities as well. An idea from the Midwest here for very important demonstrated interest would be Hillsdale College in Michigan. Wabash College in Crawfordsville, Indiana, which is one of 3 all-male universities still left in the country. Important would be some other great small liberal arts colleges, Denison and Kenyon in Ohio, Washington University, a wonderful STEM university as well, down in St. Louis, and even Michigan State, so a larger university. It's important to them that you can interact with them too. Other schools, a lot of schools kind of consider it too. It may give you a point or two in the rating system. It's not going to make or break your application most likely. Again, it's factors like at Wabash and Hillsdale that can really help you get over the bump. Butler, Case Western, Notre Dame, they'll say, great, okay, we're glad you visited. Thank you, we want you to visit, but what else have you done too? They kind of have to prove more to get into the university as well too. But again, they keep it in mind too, so it doesn't hurt some of these local schools to go to visit them, or right now do it virtually. Last thing about demonstrated interest, and we'll move on, this great quote from Leanne Backlund from Sewanee, the University of the South. She had mentioned, FIT is about showing mutual interest and respect. We work hard to get to know prospective students, and we ask that they work hard to get to know us too. Students who have engaged with us on campus, at college fairs, and via email can more confidently say that they fit at Sewanee, and we can more confidently agree with them. So again, saying this goes back both ways. They're trying to interact with you, you should try to interact with them. It's a whole process of getting to know somebody too, kind of like dating a little bit too. Just kind of feeling each other out and getting to know, and then you can say, yeah, that's really a university I want. And they can say, yes, that's really a student that we love on this campus. Their personality, their academic rigor would really fit on our college campus, and we really would be interested in this student at our campus too. So to keep that in mind. But again, now, engage on campus. Can't necessarily really happen. At college fairs, probably not going to be happening this fall as well. Via email, perhaps via virtually as well. So we'll talk about that here. First tip is just like typical. First way to information sessions. If you're going to go visit a college in person, if you have already, one thing you might realize you've done, you went online and you registered for an information session. I can show you how to do that really quick before I explain, if you don't know what that is, what they are. So really quick, it's just nice and basic here. You just go to registration. I would type in there. So I'm going to make sure I flip my screen properly here. This is where I always forget. Okay, here we go. All right, perfect. So I'm just going to type into the Google search bar. Make sure I'm right. Okay. All right. So again, very basic. If you've never done this before, here I'm going to go University of Iowa. I always pick on them. So University of Iowa, right? You just click on the school, and they've changed their homepage actually since the beginning of the pandemic, so it makes it nice and easy. But you can go to campus visits. That's in the end where you're looking to go. So most colleges won't have that right away, but they do. So they'll explain where they're taking you. They're taking you to the admission page as well. So if you just Google the college and put college, you can just Google University of Iowa visit, right? University of Iowa undergraduate admission. So you're looking for the undergraduate admission page and you're looking for the visit campus page. Perhaps these are colleges you're interested in, and they're always updating programming. One thing you might want to do too is click on request information. So if you don't even register for an information session, you get on their email list and they start sending you lots of emails. But in some of those emails, they'll tell you about new programs they might be developing or special programs they might be doing, or one time or a college fair they're doing in conjunction with other colleges. So it might behoove you to request some information from the school. But anyways, going back to visit campus, so of course they're saying in accordance, they're in a closing campus, but you can join a virtual Iowa information session. So it's just as simple as clicking on the screen, opening up, and all the different dates come up that they're available as well. So it looks like tomorrow the 14th, they must be celebrating Bastille Day, so they won't be having anybody on campus that day or virtually, but you can click on, say, the 20th, for instance, and you can go and you can see a transfer student information session, an Iowa overview presentation, Q&A session, 3 p.m. via Zoom. So you can just go there and it'll be nice and simple to visit their information session, excuse me. Again, additional programming I can show you. So I'm jumping ahead of myself for the presentation, but I'll remind you about this later. They have other things. If you're a transfer student, information sessions, a diversity virtual information session, and student panel. So again, the college talks to you, then they have a bunch of students that talk to you about the diversity on campus. Health sciences, Iowa is well known for their health science programs, nursing, kind of a pre-med track as well. You could attend their health science sessions as well. So look, I would assume that at 3 o'clock you could attend their regular information sessions, and at 4 o'clock you could kind of stick around and do the health science program too. So a lot of things you would usually do on campus, you can do it here virtually. Honors at Iowa, if you want interested in an honors college, you think you may qualify, what that may mean. It might even be good, even if you're not interested in Iowa honors program, just what an honors program might be at other colleges, because this is kind of a unique program that I haven't seen in many other colleges as well. And then again, nothing else, maximizing college credit in high school virtual information session. So again, even for high school students, are kind of letting you know that you could have what you can do in high school to earn credits ahead of time. Even Iowa, one way to interact as well would be first-year students right there. Schedule a first-year meeting. You get a Zoom meeting, up to 30-minute conversation with an admissions representative at school. It's kind of a phone call, obviously, but you're kind of meeting one-on-one like this. The only thing I would warn people about this one would be make sure you have questions, you're prepared for a conversation. It's not passive like the information sessions where, like everybody here, I'm the one talking and everybody's kind of listening. Maybe you chime in with a question here or there. But here is more of a question. Like, tell me more about the College of Nursing. I'm looking about the application process. When would I start? My rotations and my specific classes, so on and so forth. So it's kind of questions like that you'll be having there too. So Iowa has got a lot of ways to interact with them too. And like I said, it's pretty simple on how to get there too these days. Like I said here, just go to college website, undergraduate admissions, visit campus. What you're going to see would be typically if you visit a college campus and you've been to an information session, it's typically the same thing. It might be a PowerPoint presentation like I'm having. It may be via Zoom. It might be through the virtual file folder website that I mentioned. They're going to have programming that way. So, so the speaker might be showing video clips or a PowerPoint or just talking or having student panels. So it's typically 30 to 60 minutes. Same thing you would see on campus, but you're only going to see it virtually. And what they're going to discuss, things, again, if you haven't been to an on-campus information session, talk about the academics of the school and maybe what they're well known for, popular majors, programs, for instance, more specific to well-known programs. Talking about the social life, athletics. The University of Iowa is probably not going to be talking about athletics, to be honest with you, in their program. Their coaches are going to be contacting you if they want you to play for them. So Division I, chances are you're not going to be asking about, hey, do you have a football team? Can you let Coach Ferentz know that I'm interested in playing? He's probably going to contact you. But if it's Division II, Division III school, this is one of the ways that they actually get interest in students to play sports in their campus too. So you can always interact that way too, or ask perhaps to be connected to one of the coaches there. Or if nothing else, we'll tell you about the social life, the extracurriculars that go on, weekend activities, evening activities, traditions that happen on campus, even things like I said that go on within the area information. So if you're within a couple hours of mountains or go ski slopes, going skiing over a winter break or some of that stuff, they'll kind of tell you more about what students typically do and what's there to do around the area. Then, of course, you're going to look for the admission process, what they're looking for in a student, what their application looks like, what's the median ACT, SAT score, if they're going test optional this year, what it means if they're going test optional for your application. They're going to talk about, the finances of the school, what qualifies for merit aid, what qualifies for financial aid, grants, for instance, loans, if you take those out, work study. So all the different aspects that go into the finances too as well. So it's not necessarily just for students. Parents should be involved too, because they're talking about, I think, those very important details right there. One thing I would recommend would be to kind of learn about the college before you go. You want to just do some research, 15, 20 minutes, not that much. Kids are browsing the internet all day anyways, so let's look at something else to do. Go to Wikipedia. Look up more about the school, the history, the traditions of the school, perhaps the type of programs. Right, Wikipedia's got a lot of information out there for you to find out a little bit more about the school. Look in the college website, a program of interest. If you're interested, again, in that nursing program, environmental science, look into those different programs. What does a major entail? And again, the purpose of this would be to ask questions during the presentation too, to make it interactive, not to make it so passive. And again, look up the programs that you want, because again, you may say, well, I really like the environmental science. I'm not sure what that entails, so I'll major in that. So instead of going in blindly to that too, you can interact with the colleges saying, okay, well, I read online about your environmental science major. Can you tell me more about that? Again, this is a chat feature. You don't even have to raise your hand like you would if you went to an information session on campus, and then your parent raises your hand and you slump down your chair. Oh my gosh, somebody might know me here. I don't want them to talk. Right? Nobody knows you're talking to. You're just typing a name into the screen and your words. And so, but ask something more in depth that cannot easily be found on a website. A couple of weeks ago, when I was visiting Colorado College, somebody asked a wonderful question that I saw as soon as it popped up, and of course the speaker then saw it a few minutes later, and he even said, "Wow, that's a great question, one of the best questions I've seen in a long time." And what they were asking was, they did not ask, "Do you have an environmental policy major?" The question this person asked, they went more in depth, right? You could find online if they have that major. The student did ask, does the environmental policy major focus on local, state, or federal, or a mix of all? I thought that's a great in-depth question. Definitely trying to compare to different programs for different colleges, seeing which one might be more for them. And so it just really was an in-depth question too. And again, a great way to compare college with each other, and to, instead of checking a box and saying, yes, environmental policy major. It's more specific: local check, state check, federal check. Another question you could ask is, going back to that demonstrated interest, is ask them, do you track demonstrated interest? Colleges will be honest with you, and so ask them. They will say, yes, we do track, or no, we don't, or we take into mild consideration a little bit. They'll tell you a little bit more about that. So if you should know that, again, if you've been going to the information session, do I need to interact with colleges a little bit more perhaps as well too? So especially if you're going test optional, you need to do everything you can, because you don't have a test score, to try to show the college that you want to attend that school, and demonstrate interest would be a great way to doing that. In the end, of course, take notes. It's going to help your memory out here too, especially when you're asking the same question: do they track demonstrated interest? What about this major? What's more in depth about that too? So ask questions. All right, second thing you could do, and this is one of the ways colleges are starting to explode with their programming, is you can take kind of virtual tours. So I'll flip around and share my screen again. This time we'll go to visit. See, we're going from Iowa to Kansas State now. So K-State. So you can start your tour, and K-State has added a bunch of things here. So World War II Memorial Stadium's right behind you there. You can take a video here real quick. Alumni Village at K-State, future site of it. So anyways, what this is, they put it on the website, and you can scroll through around campus. Your bottom left-hand corner, you have your map, so you know where you're at. So you saw you had the stadium right over here. You got the street that you're seeing right ahead of the stoplight. That's the street you're coming down right here. So again, you're seeing a lot where you're on campus. Over on the right-hand side of the screen, it'll tell you more information. You can even have it read to you now. So again, they're adding a lot of different programming here. There it is, the future site of Alumni Village. And so you can find out more information there. Then you can kind of take the tour on your own here, and you can look at the dining center. They can tell you more about information here too. Again, you can see what it looks like, and they'll probably tell you about the different types of meals that they have, and the plans and ideas like that here too. And again, this is where the students, especially freshman year, are going to be eating, 10 meals a week on there too. The days they don't go to Chipotle or Panera, they're going to be eating in the dining centers too. So what it kind of looks like. Again, these are all sites you see on your campus tour as well. We'll click on one more, the recreation complex, and it'll show you all their climbing walls they have, because everybody's climbing on a college campus. Every college campus has multiple climbing walls, and so they're showing you that. They're showing you the pools. But again, to tell you more on the right-hand side, if you scroll through, they're writing what they have there. Kind of, you have a nice little, concession area as well too, that I'm sure that you probably could use some of your dining money there as well. So there's a lot of things, again, you could interact with the college with as well here. I'll take you to another campus. We'll go from now Kansas down to College Station, Texas, where the official way to say hello at Texas A&M is howdy. So howdy, Texas A&M. They have their map as well here too, right in the middle. On the bottom are your different sites, and on your left-hand side, they tell you a little bit more about what's at the school. So again, you go from there first, and this is actually typically here, and probably the virtual tour at Kansas State. I haven't toured it personally, but I have for Texas A&M. This is the exact tour that you would take if you would visit the campus in person here too. So they're kind of taking you around place by place, telling you a little bit more information here. This one has links to go find out more information about it. So if you'd like to purchase some swag at any college you go visit, don't worry about it. Texas A&M has got you covered here too. They want their money still, so they can go to their Barnes & Noble bookstore. So look there to get some information. But again, it takes you around campus. And one thing that I want to point out a little bit would be as well, Kansas State had that as well, and they showed it here. Right here, step number 12, I think it's a 12 or is it 13? The last stop here, 13th is Kyle Field for Texas A&M. So when you're doing these virtual tours, kind of look at the places they're taking you and think to yourself, why are they showing me these different places? What is the purpose of that too? Why are they proud of this? So the last two, Kansas State and Texas A&M, both have shown you the football fields. So to me, you have to remember to think that it's a very big part of the campus life, of the social life, is the football team, the football stadium. So if this is something that's not for you, if athletics is not that big for you, obviously Kansas State and Texas A&M are large universities. You could fit in just fine without it. But just come to think about that might be part of the social life of school, that athletics is a big part of the school. So something for you to consider thinking, well, maybe I'm not that much in athletics. I'd rather see more science buildings or of the business school and then the football stadium too. So that may or may not be the type of school for me. All right, so going back to the presentation. Again, there's interactive maps. So kind of like we had a map there. You can just kind of click on a building and tell you more information about that. Other colleges have it. So everybody's got something a little bit different going on. But again, does this replace the actual experience of being on a college campus, of walking and feeling that vibe, the feel of campus here too, the sights and smells. Numerous people have talked about smells on college campuses. So maybe my sense of smell is not the greatest, or that's something I'm not paying attention to. But you know what? To each their own. I'm not the one spending 4 years of my life on the campus, so I don't have to worry about the smell, perhaps too. So some people think about that. Of course, you can't smell through these virtual tours, the information sessions, but you know what? They're better than nothing. It actually got a lot better since the beginning of April when I started taking these information sessions and college tours. So it's pretty good. And again, if you're a rising senior and applying to college, this might be for you. So sorry, my light went out. So again, this is something that could be for you for a rising senior, because you can't get to the college campus. You're not able to visit the school. So, this is the best way. A lot of seniors have said that, they graduated, that they were going to wait until the spring of their senior year to go visit colleges that they were accepted to. And so, they weren't able to do this. They had to do it this way, and it wasn't even this good back in March. And so now the program's got a lot better. So it can kind of help you narrow your college search as well. Say this is not really a school for me. I'm not too interested in that school. So that might be something that you can at least narrow your college search on, and not necessarily add to your college list. All right. So additional virtual tours. So other things you can be doing, I get them all up here. There's 3 different websites that I would highly recommend. They would be UVisit, universitytv.com, and Campus Reel like a film reel, REEL.org. Each one of these, the first 2 colleges kind of understand that they're filming campus and kind of try to help them out a little bit as well. The third one, Campus Rio, is just a specific third-party website where they hire college students themselves to go around to college campus and to video the experiences in a school. I'll show you each one of these really quick as well, and we can even watch a little video of each so you kind of understand what I'm talking about here too. So let's see here. My Campus Rio was my last one. So we're going to go up to UVisit. Obviously, students and parents, that's what you're looking to go. That's what you're looking to do. I'm going to actually look for a specific college, Pepperdine. They have a whole bunch of universities here, but I'll do Pepperdine because I want to highlight something and explain what you could be looking for when you're watching these videos as well. First of all, to give you a little bit of information, in Malibu, they're right off the Pacific Ocean. How big the school is, kind of the tuition, but remember, first of all, that's just tuition. That's not including room and board and added fees and added books and transportation. So that's just the tuition for the school. So keep that in mind too. But don't be deceived there. Again, they're a private four-year university. If you have a VR headset or goggles, you can put that on and take a really fun virtual reality tour. If you have that, so you can entertain yourself a little bit more at home. If you don't have that, take the 360 experience, which is still a pretty good experience you can take. So I'll click on it real quick, and it's coming up. All right, and so we'll just show you about 30 seconds, I think, of this video here, and I'll explain what you're seeing here. Oh, hit the play. Okay, so 32 seconds it took you. And what I wanted to explain by this, obviously it's professionally done. Some of the campus tours you might take, the official campus tours you might take, might actually be a UVisit a tour that was created for them too. So keep that in mind. They might look similar. But on this website, UVisit, again, we got a 1 minute and 8 second clip here. Pepperdine hired them out to take video of their campus, and they're highlighting something right in the beginning. So, like I said, they're right off the Pacific Ocean. So you saw the beach in the first video. The second video, right, you got your mountains up here on your right-hand side there too. You got some hills over here, but they're right by the mountains as well. And showing you their quad area too, where people are playing some frisbee out there as well too. So again, trying to show you the social aspect and trying to get you really interacting with them and really right there, but also showing the type of campus it is. It's a really outdoorsy type of campus too. So if your student is that type of student, outdoorsy, and really likes that idea, maybe Pepperdine would be something to consider as well. The other website I had was UVisit. I guess real quick back to going back to UVisit, by the way, you saw there was a whole bunch of videos you could actually go through in 2-minute videos too. So you just didn't have to watch one video for 1 minute, 8 seconds. You had a lot more to go through. Versus University TV here. Again, you can find these on YouTube as well, because this is going to be a YouTube video they posted on here too. But we'll go through the official college video tour. And it's going to be a little bit different, you're going to notice, than UVisit was too. So we'll see how this third party has their videos. And about NC State. Okay. I'll stop it there, 53 seconds in there. But again, different type of video, more higher paced. We found out a lot of information about the school, the location. Again, what they're trying to do is highlight here in this video that NC State, in a big city, Raleigh, the capital, they're right there. They're right there in the city. So if you kind of want an urban type of campus feel, they're trying to highlight NC State is there for you. What you can do on the weekends, bands, you can go downtown, the Durham Bulls, the AAA team of the Tampa Bay Rays, there's baseball. So trying to tell you again, internship opportunities, social life opportunities, again, and just things to do on the weekends as well. So different type of video. But throughout the 6 minutes, they're going to interview a whole bunch of people, students, admissions people as they go through campus in a higher pace than you can tell from the music, also compared to UVisit. So a different type of video, but again, entertaining. 6 minutes, learn about NC State. Probably, that's pretty good. So you can go on after the information session or even before the information session to understand what they're talking about. All right, the third one would be Campus Rio. So I'm sorry, I gotta log in here. Forgot to do that. Campus Rio, again, they're looking for your contact information too. So again, you're going to be sent with probably bombarded with some emails as well from them too. So, but the other two, UVisit and University TV, you did not have to register at all. So, but if we look in there too, we'll look through. Go back to maybe just go to Pepperdine back. There it is, and see what they have to say. So we can kind of compare apples and apples here too. So let's see, Aaron's from Chicago here. So we'll go to Aaron, and I'll just show you a really quick clip, and we'll talk about. All right, so really quick, there's Aaron again. But again, something just to show you in this type of video is you can definitely tell, as you can see, it's not professionally done. Nothing wrong with that, right? They've hired Aaron out. Campus Real's hired her out to take videos of the campus of herself walking around and kind of giving you her own tour of the campus. I'm sure they're telling her where they want her to go and things to talk about, for instance. But again, it's not official through the college website. She's holding her camera here too. So is it her iPad? Is it a phone? Is it a GoPro? She's filming herself there too. Or sometimes you see somebody else's kind of videoing them as they go. But the camera's bouncing up and down. It's just not as professionally done, which is okay too. But you're getting the idea of what you see in school. So quick facts about the school. Talk about again being in Chicago. Talk about the weather, right? Trying to highlight that. I'm kind of longing for the 20-degree weather as we're going to go up to 95 this weekend. I'm not a hot weather person, so I would love that too. Again, takes you through the library, the hangout spot on campus, the amphitheater. So in short videos, 2-3 minutes, they'll show you a little bit more about campus. You can kind of take it around and click what you want to see there too. So again, it's pretty of an interesting type of site. Okay, so it looks like hopefully everybody heard me. Hopefully I'm doing better now. So sorry if you missed that too. Perfect. So let me know if you can't hear me. Somebody had messaged that they said they couldn't hear some of the videos. So my apologies if that happened here too. So, but hopefully my description helped you out a little bit too to understand what was going on in the videos and the one that you might have missed. Okay. So those are kind of like the unofficial ways to visit campus too. That again, there's going to be nothing wrong. Your son or daughter can go watch those on their own late at night. I definitely would recommend those for students, and I do recommend those to students to learn more about schools. Other ways to connect, I've kind of showed you a lot of these actually with University of Iowa. They were able to kind of let me show you from their visit website by adding programming. But some colleges are adding mobile apps, even self-guided tours. So again, maybe those interactive maps can help you out if you just wanted to drive around a college campus right now. Again, you don't have to get out and walk around, or even if you got around and walked around, like, okay, what's that building? Punch it up on your phone. I can tell you a little bit more about the school, so you have that option as well. Again, sometimes it'll take you around to the different parts of the school and kind of show you what you're looking at, and choose like, okay, go to the next stop, and this is the stop, what you're looking at, and so on and so forth. Again, I kind of mentioned that phone or video chat that the University of Iowa had, that kind of one-on-one meeting that you had. That kind of, again, remember, it's a conversation. It's not really a passive meeting, but again, it's a conversation with them. You know, if you go on social media, like I said, YouTube pages are littered with colleges having their own YouTube pages and putting videos up there. Same thing with your Facebooks, Instagram, Twitters. I'm sure they have TikToks these days too. I have not joined TikTok yet, so I'm not sure, but I'm sure the colleges have, so don't worry about that. If the high school students are doing it, college will be too. So, you know, student panel conversations, kind of mentioned that. They had that with Iowa with their diversity panel, information session, student panel. Sometimes they have special programming just to talk with students, to interact with them as well too. So again, the student panels are a great way, again, not necessarily passive, but you can go and watch and listen to what other people have to say, but perhaps bring your own questions, like what do students typically do here on the weekends? You know, how rigorous are the courses? You know, if I want to be a pre-med major too, is it really difficult, so on and so forth there. So, so it's something to, you know, to consider, to think about questions like that. If you were a student, like, what does it look like? What does every day look like here on campus? One that I'll highlight is StriveScan College Exploration. So what StriveScan is, so I'll get it up on the website here. StriveScan is actually a website where you would actually, if you visited a college fair ever before, most likely you've gone to StriveScan to actually register for the college fair and create a barcode for yourself. And so what that means is, again, you're creating your kind of own account, your personal information. And then when you go to the college fair, it kind of replaces, if for the parents may understand this, is those postcards that you would be in their brochures, or they'd have on a table, and you fill out your name, your address, and your phone number, or email address, and you'd hand it back to the college, and that's where they would log that information into their computer. Now, StriveScan just gives you a barcode. You give them your phone, you scan it up to their phone somehow, and bam, they have your information just that easy too. So there's a lot less, input and data entry on their part too. But again, StriveScan, being a third-party company, also encourage you to interact with them as well too. They have different programming as well. When everything shut down in May, they had a virtual college fairs when you weren't able to get to college fairs, since the middle of March, and they're all starting to get canceled. And they've been canceled and probably will be in the fall as well too. Virtual college fairs will be the way to go. So StriveScan says more virtual opportunities are coming this fall. So perhaps you want to register on their website so you just get in on the loop of the information. But if nothing else, you can still, I'll take you through nice and slow. You can go through here actually, and from their tour, from their college fairs in May, they recorded all the different sessions that the colleges had. They recorded them, just as we're recording this video, and they posted to the StriveScan website. So if you want a little more information about Allegheny College in Pennsylvania, you can go watch the recording and learn more about the school. Now, they have two different descriptions here. One's about Lawrence Pope's a book called 40 Colleges That Changed Lives. So it's a great book to actually talk about 44 different colleges now, because the second edition came out. But they talk about great small schools that will give you a quality education that will be under 5,000 students. So if students are wondering about some great, fantastic schools they may never have heard about before, do some curbside pickup at the Skokie Library and look up 40 colleges that change lives, or just colleges that change lives, for instance. And Allegheny was one of them. So they're going to talk more about what makes them so special, why they were in that book. So again, it's some great listening, great watching. And the best thing, especially about this one here, is they're not tracking demonstrated interest here right now. So if you watch and you clicked on Berkeley College, and you thought it was University of California, Berkeley, and you realize, I clicked in the wrong college. This is Berkeley College of Music in Boston. You're like, God, geez, I don't want to watch this anymore. You can click out of it and leave. No demonstrated interest, nothing ventured, nothing lost. And so, so perfect. There we go. Laura got her up on the chat screen, the colleges that change lives. It's a really interesting read. Each college is about 5 to 7 pages too, and like I said, it gives you a whole bunch of interesting schools to read. If nothing else, gives you something to do this summer as well. But yeah, StriveScan is a great place to go to, watch a bunch of recordings, and pretty much if you have a college you're interested in, chances are they would have something on StriveScan here as well. So So I'd recommend that. Again, summer programs, they're kind of ending now too. Maybe new programming for college classes aren't really there. Denison University, excuse me, had done a podcast with the admissions office that jumped in and got involved in that as well. Tulane University, Stillview, some students on campus decided to create a non-for-profit with proceeds going to the New Orleans relief efforts. And you can register for a one-on-one session for a donation. You don't have to give a donation, but of course, go through a good cause, and you can connect with the current Tulane student. This is all without the knowledge of the admissions department. I'm sure they found out about it, but it's just the students just want to promote Tulane to students who couldn't get a chance to get down there to visit them too. So it's pretty interesting, the different programming that was created. And then last thing I would recommend would be post-visit. This is something I kept from a presentation that I've had how to visit college campuses. But I would do it virtually as well too. Build a relationship, build it with a college. Talk about that demonstrated interest, but also learn about the school, find out if they're for you, have that conversation. But also never hurt to say thank you, right? Send the presenter of the information session a thank you. You can send them a handwritten card, right? Who gets handwritten cards anymore? And people love mail, right? And they love mail, a handwritten card. So, that's very nice of them. They took the time to do that, We could all sit down on the computer, write an email, but to write a handwritten card, that means a lot as well. So keep that in mind. But if nothing else, write an email to them, in the beginning of the program, to say what their name are, what their territory is, so you can kind of find their contact information on the website. They may have it on the information session as well. But again, odds are it's not going to be the information, the person who does, in the information session is not going to be the person who is the representative of Illinois, for instance, or the Chicagoland area. But you can easily find them if they're not too. So I would send an email to the people who presented and carbon copy your area representative. It's pretty easy to find. So I'll take you through to one college here. I click on it and I'll switch. We'll go to Hanover College in Hanover, Indiana. Perhaps that jogs somebody's memory by saying, hey, Hanover, Indiana, wasn't that the fictional character Woody Harrelson's character in Cheers? That's where he said he was from. He's an alum of Hanover College himself, and so that's why he picked that school name. So, all right, so after that use of this information, we could find your council right here too. So if you scroll down, careful, it's going to go fast, so I don't want to get you dizzy. Goes fast, scroll down to the bottom, select your state. Right, you can select we are in Illinois, we are in Cook County, Illinois, and we can find out that Caroline Brunner would be your admission rep. So there's her email right there. So go ahead and get the admission reps that had the information session, put them in the email. Thank you very much for the information session on 7/13. I greatly enjoyed it. I found it very interesting. I didn't realize that there was so much to do on the weekend, and you were taking trips to wherever, talk about whatever you found interesting. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I look forward to perhaps applying to your school in the fall. So kind of let them know you're coming. And now Caroline has your contact information as well. She will probably know you registered for the event because where you're from, but she would now know you're also interested in the school and you're starting a conversation with her right now. So again, you're trying to build that relationship with her too. If you're tracking demonstrated interest, all the better right there too. So, but if nothing else, you plan to apply to Hanover College. She's the one reading your application. So she's going to look at it and say, oh, I remember Tom. He sent me a nice email after the information session. I'm glad he applied here too. That's fantastic. Let's go see what he has to say about Hanover. So again, she's interested in reading yours too, and perhaps you can give you a little higher on that rating system now. All right. All right, so very good. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today to watch this video and for Skokie Library to bring me out here. Final 4 tips I would recommend would be, again, I kind of mentioned this before, don't get caught waiting around. Be proactive. A lot of people had said, like I said before, we would visit the colleges after we were accepted, and they plan to do it during spring break trips. Maybe this year for next spring break, right? Let's cross our fingers and hopefully we could all get out again next spring break and go visit as many college campuses as we want to. But again, this past year it didn't happen. So be proactive. Do virtual programming. Do what you can, right? Let's not say, oh, geez, I can't visit colleges. I don't know what I want to do. Go after them too. One saying that I heard, can't tell you if it's accurate, to be honest. As a history teacher, I wasn't sure, but they said more people became millionaires after or during the Great Depression than at any point in American history. Again, is that true or not? I don't know, but the point is people were doing something during a bad economic time and they made a lot of money out of it too. They found something to do. So this is not the best time to go travel, but you can go do the ultimate college road trip from your home, from your computer, and do a bunch of interacting, right? You can find a different time today. You can do it, 3 times a week, 2 times a week, say Tuesday, Thursdays, here's what I'm doing. And then find the colleges, go after them too. Do it late at night with recorded programming, right? There should be no excuse why you can't go interact with colleges and say, well, I didn't know what they had to offer. Again, build the relationships. We kind of talked about that too. Build the relationships. Do your research. Ask quality questions from the colleges too. Interact with them too. They're looking to interact. They're trying to find a lot of different ways. Some of my clients, colleges are starting to reach out to them because they had done stuff. They had kind of showing some interest in the school already. They're in the database. So they're being contacted and say, hey, let's set up a phone call. Do you have any questions? They can't meet one-on-one with people right now. They can't meet any college fairs. They're trying to look for ways to interact with the colleges. So build the relationships. They want to build it with you as well. Practice with some schools. My idea with this is if you've had your heart set on, say, going to the University of Notre Dame ever since you saw the movie Rudy when you were a kid, that's a school for me. Honestly, don't make University of Notre Dame your first virtual visit. Do some other schools first. Pick out some other schools maybe you're interested in, maybe you're not. But kind of learn what they're doing, what they're talking about too. Kind of practice. Ask some questions of colleges. How is this going to look when I ask a question? Am I doing it the proper way? Am I asking a good enough question here too to elicit a response that I'm looking for too? So kind of practice with 2 or 3 schools first before you go after the University of Notre Dame, and you want to try to impress them too with your questions and interactions with them as well too. So be comfortable with those interactions with the schools. And then last thing I would say is, this is new to everybody. The program is new for people. Virtual college fairs are new, virtual programming, virtual student panels, virtual everything's new. Be patient with the colleges, but also be proactive. Get on their mailing list, get on their email list. They'll tell you everything that they're trying to do, everything new that they're doing. So take advantage of that too, is what I'm trying to say. Just like Zoom bombing, right? Nobody ever heard of Zoom bombing. In April, that was a big thing. And end of March, everybody was being Zoom bombed. So whoever heard of Zoom before quarantine? I mean, I actually did, to be honest with you. But, a lot of my friends who even worked from home never heard of Zoom too. So, that's the new thing. So we're comfortable with this. We're going to be comfortable with virtual programming. College admissions offices are adapting for the unique class of 2021, the seniors who just graduated, looking at those rising seniors for a unique application process. So they're all looking and trying to figure out what this all means, what test optional is going to mean, how these virtual sessions are going to be a positive or not too. So just be proactive too. That's what you can do. Do not stress. There's a lot of things this year, especially, you cannot control. You cannot control if you can or cannot take an ACT exam, for instance. Don't stress over that too. But you can go visit colleges. So that's why I definitely would say go visit the colleges virtually, interact with them. Thanks for your time. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Utilize the library. Curbside pickup is a wonderful feature, right? But if you're interested in programming, again, I'll put my email address up again, but info@questcollegeconsulting.com if you're interested in that too. Or if you have other college-related questions, feel free to send me an email as well, or feel free to put some questions in the chat feature as well too. So I'll come back on and show you me. So if you have any questions, go ahead, type some questions into the chat. I'll be happy to answer anything you have to say. I'm not sure if the library has anything to say too, but ask the library too. They have a lot of great programs on college that they can help you with too. I'm sure virtually as well. ACT, SAT test prep. I'm sure they have programs for that as well. Curbside pickup with ACT, SAT test prep books as well. Colleges that change lives, that book as well too. So again, utilize the library as well too. It's a great resource too.
Thank you, Tom.
Great, thank you, ladies. Appreciate that.